Straight up
Guys,
7 o'clock.
straight up 7 o'clock. And what do you say we get this party starting?
Let's rock.
Ready to rock and roll? Cool. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, will be the first episode of the show here. And my name is Paul Charron, and my partner out there is in Fresno, California. And you are?
I am Rod Davison. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Evening Buzz, the very first episode of our long-living show, I guess. Absolutely.
And for those of you people that showed up thinking the Evening Buzz was going to be about smoking marijuana, we're sorry, it's not. It's actually about a home-based business. So for those of you sitting at home right now going, damn, man, we thought it was going to be something else. Sorry. What can you do? So first show, Rod, we should probably let everybody know what we're doing here. What do you think?
You just couldn't resist that opening, could you?
I couldn't resist a little Aussie to set it off, dude. Couldn't resist.
No, I mean, I think that's absolutely the best way to start off is, just kind of give everybody a heads up as to, what our vision is and what we're going to be talking about. And, we're going to do this basically 5 days a week, so Sunday through Thursday. And, Paul kind of came up with this, and we started talking about it a few days ago, and we just, went for it. So, I think you're going to be learning about all kinds of things that have to do with the home-based business, and, whether, I mean, from all aspects, really. It's going to be a very in-depth at times, some summarized things at times, and and we're hoping to get some feedback from everybody on some topics that you want us to cover. So
absolutely, we're going to try and keep it lighthearted as well, guys. Obviously, we're really serious about this business, but we do love it, and we love to have a lot of fun, and that's what's really cool about this, is it allows us to do that and kick back at our houses, have some fun, hang out, and do some really cool stuff. So not only about the home-based business industry, but some of the things that allows us to do as home-based business owners as well. And so home-based business, Rod, I mean, covers a lot of land, does it not? I mean, we're talking internet marketing. What else?
Well, I mean, the home-based business covers pretty much everything. I mean,
a lot of stuff, right?
It could be a landscaping company. It could be
Absolutely.
A construction worker. It could be all kinds of things,
Absolutely. So we're going to cover a little bit of everything, guys. It's not going to be just about, internet marketing. It's not going to be just about network marketing. It's going to have a little bit of everything, because we know there's some people out there. I mean, Rod, seriously, if you're an offline guy, like let's say you mentioned landscaping. If you're a landscaper or a dog groomer or anything, you've got to be marketing online, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you really do. I mean, in this day and age, I mean, there's not too many people that don't go to the internet to look for information on something. I mean, you still got that small percentage of people out there that are, that are old school, but, in the next few years, those are dwindling away. The more years that pass, the old schoolers are, unfortunately, they're
right. I mean,
leaving the country.
You got to market online. I mean, yeah. You and I, when we saw Gary Vaynerchuk there at the No Excuses Summit, he's right. He said that people coming out of the airport, they're like this, and if you go anywhere, guys, people are on their phones, people are on their laptops. They're not looking at traditional billboard advertising anymore. They're not looking at. I don't know the last time I'm sure people still read the paper, but I haven't read a newspaper in I don't know how long. I get my news online. I get my any of that advertising. It comes to us online. I think that real old school stuff is kind of dead, man.
Yeah, and well, and Paul, you living in Las Vegas, I'm sure you become just immune to all the billboards anyway. So
absolutely.
When's the last time you looked at a billboard?
Well, we kind of have to, but I couldn't literally tell you between here and the Strip, and we probably have 20, 30 billboards between here and the Strip. I really couldn't tell you specifically what's on any of them. I have an idea because some of the shows are the same things that have been there over and over again, but really I couldn't tell you. So if we're going to go to a show, if we're going to go do something on the Strip, I'm jumping online to find my information online. And I think that if a home-based business owner, if you're building a landscaping company, or if you're a bookkeeper even, or like I said, a dog groomer, and you're not doing something to market your business online, I think it's a horrible mistake. I just think it's a horrible mistake.
So, well, yeah, I mean, no question about that. I mean, you know, the online in general is where, you know, it's where everything is now. It's, you know, you pay your bills online, you find maps online, you look at news online, you buy stuff online. It's, you know, it's no different. Online is pretty much the go-to. It's the go-to facility really for anything that you want.
Right. Now, I mean, you got to be careful if you're running an online business that you don't have maps to your house online. That could be a little bit of a disaster. But Rod's right. I mean, everything that you're doing is going to be online. So we wanted you guys to know that it's not just about internet marketing, though. And most people, when you hear the home-based business industry, you immediately think about, you know, network marketing, or you immediately think about, you know, being an Avon lady or something like that. It's not going to be all about that kind of stuff. It's about all different types of business, but basically how you can market that business on the internet, because it's just the way you need to go. If you're not marketing online, guys, you're really falling by the wayside. At least have a website, for God's sakes. I mean, you got to have at least a website online. If a business doesn't have a website nowadays, I don't know. I don't even know what to tell you. Well, one, most people probably don't even know they exist, so they're probably not around very long. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
So home-based business, folks, right from the, we're going to do everything like starting and operating a home-based business. Some people don't even know where to begin, so we could take them through some of that, Rod. I mean, getting them up and running. What's there to do that? I mean, I guess LLC forming and things like that. We could probably touch base on that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, just the different, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the different forms of, you know, how to start a business, and, you know, why you would choose each different method. So there's there's a lot of tax advantages and stuff depending on, you know, how you do it, and whether you're doing a partnership or it's just a sole proprietorship, or, you know, whatever the case is. So we can definitely kind of go through, you know, we can have some episodes that kind of targets the different methods and some, you know, advantages and disadvantages to each one, because, you know, there's obviously advantages and disadvantages to everything. But
and maybe what we'll do is dedicate tomorrow night to exactly how to get started, because there might be people that just start watching that just go, I need to know where to start. I need to know, you know, I've got this idea. What do I do next? So maybe we'll dedicate that tomorrow night to getting them started, so that they can get up and running. What do you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a great place to start. I mean, this is the home-based network, you know. Right.
And tax. You mentioned tax advantages, Rod. I don't think a lot of people understand. And now the entity thing is really closely tied to the tax advantages, like you were talking about. So we will touch on that as well. But I really think a lot of people don't understand the tax advantages that you are given as a home business owner. You hear people all the time freak out when they talk about the rich getting these tax breaks. We have them available to us, right?
Yeah, and I mean, you know, you don't have to be a full-time home-based business owner to get tax advantages. You can work 10 hours a week if you want. It just depends on what your business model is, you know, but you can still reap the same tax advantages part-time as you can full-time. So
right. You just, one of the things that they say about your business is it has to be run regularly and consistently. And like you said, if it's a part-time business, then that's fine. You run it on that regular and consistent basis. You get to use those tax advantages and a lot of write-offs that you just don't get as a W-2 employee. Pardon my language, guys, but a W-2 employee, they're the most screwed entity on the planet. You get no tax write-off as a W-2 employee, except for what you might get a small percentage of your house, the interest on your house, but it's really just it's a very, very small percentage. And I love when people say, yeah, I bought a house just so I could have the tax advantages of it. That's crazy. Just to write off the interest on your loan is not a good idea, but I don't want to get off into that rant, but that's really the only thing as a W-2 employee that you get to enjoy is that tax write-off on that. As an employee, guys, or as an employee, as a business owner, man, the sky's the limit if you learn to play the game.
Yeah, and just you know, maybe just real quick to give them an idea, like if you have a home-based business, one of the biggest write-offs that you have is mileage. So right now, January of 14, 56 cents a mile for any business-related mileage. So if you're going to see a client, you're going to the office supply store, whatever the case is, all those miles are written off, and those add up quick. You can also, as a business owner, any doctor's appointments, prescription pickups, dentist appointments, whatever, you can write those mileage off too. Now, it's not 56 cents a mile at those, but it's still 23.5 for those. And if you do any volunteer work, as an example, any volunteer work for a charitable organization, you can write 14 cents a mile off of that. So I mean, it's just amazing the write-offs.
Right. Think about that, guys, for a minute. Every 10 miles you drive your car for business purposes is $5.60. I mean, that more than covers probably your gas, your insurance, your oil, and again, we'll talk about specific ways that you can do that, because you can do it by mileage, you can do it by percentage. You don't have to keep track for the entire year. I think you got to keep a log for 90 days, and then you can do a percentage thing. But absolutely huge, Rod. I mean, that's a great tip. The mileage thing alone is huge.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you just gotta, there's really three things to have a home business, right? You have to do it consistently, you have to keep track of it, as far as documentation, and you have to attempt to make a profit. Those are really the only three criteria to have a home business.
Right, and if you're not trying to make a profit, guys, don't get into a home-based business solely for the tax advantages. Now, Mickey might disagree with us on that because that's exactly why he started. But you want to try and make a profit. So that's the first couple of things, guys. Starting and operating a business, your tax advantages. Another thing that we're going to discuss a lot, guys, because this is where Rod and this is what we love to do, is marketing. And I know that might sound weird to a lot of you guys, but online marketing and stuff, getting customers, getting leads, getting clients for your business, and marketing your business, unless you become really good at it, your business is doomed, guys. I'm telling you. Obviously, if you've got the cash to hire a marketing firm, yeah, you can do that. But we're really going to talk about a lot of the ways that you can market online, which is kind of our thing. And we're going to talk about some offline methods as well, because, again, there are still some offline methods. But talk about some of just a couple of the online methods for a sec, Rod.
Well, I mean, there's so many online methods. I mean, you can do, gosh, it really depends on what you're marketing, probably on which method you do. But there's paid traffic, and there's SEO, and there's video, and I mean, it's on and on. Facebook, any of the social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and I don't know how many other social media sites that are out there, and there's always new ones starting up. But it's there's so many avenues now for online, and it's really about social. It's really social network marketing now is really what it boils down to.
Right. Every bit of marketing is really about some type of social marketing. I mean, if you're a business owner, folks, you need to be telling people about your business. It's as simple as that, and call it what you will, but yeah, everything is pretty much social networking anymore. It's just the best way to get the word out, So that's absolutely every avenue that you can use to market your business, you should be using it. Every bit counts, and you're going to find that there's going to be one or two things that you love doing and maybe that you're good at, and then you're gonna find some stuff that you just can't get, and that doesn't work for you. That's okay. Hammer those skills that make you a better Facebook marketer, or hammer those skills and learn and develop those skills that make you a better Twitter marketer or video or whatever it is. So you should test them all, but you're gonna find those few that you kind of migrate to, and then just get good at it. Just get really good at, one lead source can be the, make your business, make or break your business, right?
No, absolutely, and it's it's really comes, it really kind of comes down to really what what you really feel that your passion is, and we'll be sharing some different tools and some different systems that really give some really excellent training on all these different strategies. So just kind of keep an eye out for those, but.
Right. Whenever you can use a tool, obviously, or a system, absolutely you should.
Yep.
That makes life a whole lot easier. We'll talk about selling products as well, guys. If you're in the business of trying to make money online or in your own home-based business, eventually you're going to have to sell something. And a lot of people, do the, well, I'm not a salesperson. Well, then you're probably not going to want to be in your own business, because eventually somebody is going to have to, there's got to be some exchange of money somehow, some exchange of value from you to them, or you give somebody value in some way, shape, or form, either through a product or service, and they're going to give you money. That's just the way it is, right?
I mean, it's really kind of funny, because, you hear that from a lot of people. I really don't like selling, but, I don't know a single business out there that doesn't sell something.
Right.
I mean, it's whether it's a service, whether it's a product, it really doesn't matter. I mean, even if you go in for medical care, they're selling you something.
Right. So if you guys find a business where you don't have to sell something and people will just throw money at you, besides, there are a few things, well, even those places are selling something. But if you can find that business, please let us know, because I would love to be able to not have to sell anything and make money. That'd be great.
Even the illegal businesses sell stuff.
Absolutely. I was trying not to go the stripper route there, but yeah, even strippers are selling. Sex sells, man. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So we're also going to touch on the wonderfully exciting topic of our economy, and more so on, a lot of people have no idea how this stuff works. I really, to be honest, Rod, until the last few years, until I started really getting hardcore into my own business and really started going, man, I need to learn this stuff. It's not something they teach us in school, but I really need to be aware of how it works. Obviously, there's certain things we can't fix about the economy, and that's cool, but it's still good to know how it works,
Yeah, I mean, it all comes back to one thing, knowledge. Your power is in the knowledge, and if you don't know how stuff works, sometimes it's really hard to know how to make the best decisions in your business too.
Right, because that's what it's all about, guys and gals, is knowing what decisions to make. Can we fix the economy? I always tell people, I can't fix the economy. I can only fix me economy.
That's right.
And that's what it's all about, knowing that stuff and knowing what those guys are doing out there in Washington, D.C., and knowing, okay, because of what they're doing there, I need to be able to play the game here so that my economy is good and that my economy and my household is good, regardless of what the economy does. So that's really what it's all about, right?
No, absolutely. I mean, that's you hit it right there right there, nail in the head right there, perfect.
Right. I mean, how many people, guys? It doesn't matter what has happened throughout history. When the economy is up, people are making money, people are losing money, people are broke. When the economy is down, there's people that are making money, there's people that are broke, there's people that, I mean, it does not matter whether the economy is up in the stratosphere or the economy is tanking. Somebody somewhere is making money, and you can learn how to do that. Why not do it? It just makes no sense for me for the economy to be down and me go, oh, woe is me, I can't do anything, and because the economy's down. That is garbage. And Rod and I, we've talked about it before, and again, it's not bragging, guys. It's letting you guys know what's possible. In the last 7 years, when the economy's been its worst, is when I've made the most money I've ever made in my life. And it's not telling you to brag. It's telling you to what's possible when you know the things to do. People told me I was crazy for starting my last business in the middle of a recession, and I think it's Gary Vaynerchuk that says it's never a bad time to start a business unless you're going to start a mediocre business. Right. That was a huge smack to me, If you're going to start a business that's going to be just okay, or start a business that's not going to be the best, it's never a good time to start that business. But if you're going to start a business that is as good as it can be, there is never a bad time. Yep. Get in and get it started.
And it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, that's for sure. So.
Absolutely.
It takes a lot of hard work.
What else are we going to do, Dave? Dave, so what else are we going to talk to these folks about during our show?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. Personal development, that would probably be a good one.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead and start us off on that one.
So, personal development really comes in a lot of different forms and fashions, but, being in the home-based industry, a lot of times you're working at home, you work by yourself a lot of times, and you really need something to keep you motivated and inspired, and always increasing your mind to grow. So personal development is really, really important. I know Paul and myself both do a fair share, probably more than what you really need sometimes, but 30 minutes a day on personal development when you first start in the morning is just it makes a huge difference. That's all I got to say.
Right. Well, and there's all facets. I think a lot of people look at personal development as like, kumbaya, let's hold hands and go see the Dalai Lama, and it's not necessarily that. Personal development, education. Personal development is, as you know, Rod. I'm a high school dropout, guys, but I got to a point in my life where I decided that enough was enough, and I was going to do whatever I had to do to educate myself in business, educate myself in the finances, educate myself on the economy, educate myself on how to start a business. And it's about reading books, and it's about listening to audio, and it's about watching video, and it's not necessarily the I'm good enough. There used to be some kind of crazy cartoon, and I can't remember what it was, where the guy would do affirmations. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough, and I don't know the whole thing, but it's not all about that. Personal development is this all-encompassing thing about educating yourself in the hows and educating yourself in the why as well. And we do that a lot. The whole having people have their why right, which is your family or your parents or whatever it is that makes you want to do this stuff. But education is the key. It's is it Jim Rohn? I think it's Jim Rohn, which is obviously we share him as one of our favorites. He says something about wanting to be a millionaire. It's not about the money. That the money doesn't mean as much as the person that you have to become a millionaire, and I totally agree with that. And I have goals to become multi-millionaire, and again, it's about that person that you have to become to be able to accept that money. It's not necessarily just about having that $1 million.
Yeah, it's not about the money you make, it's about the person you become making it. That's basically what he said.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I have I've grown so much over the last few years, even compared to what people that knew me as a teenager probably, or even knew me over the last few years. I feel like I've grown a lot just from the stuff that I've read and the knowledge that I've gained, because I never got to a point where I said I'm not going to learn that. I always want to look for that next thing to learn. And actually, Rod, you and I both get into that learning mode too much, where at some point you need to go from learning mode into doing mode, and that's part of personal development is too, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to be careful not to get stuck in learning mode. So,
right.
Paul, it sounds to me like you're saying that self-education is way, way, way better than a planned curriculum.
You know how I feel about that. I just, as a matter of fact, the other night I was talking to Lorena again, and I can't remember where I see it. Oh, it was Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, I was watching him on a show, and he was talking to Tony Robbins, and he was saying that it's sad that our education system is still training people for jobs that were, not for jobs that are coming or jobs that are needed. And if people can get that, if you can really understand that, guys, it's huge. We are sending our kids to a school system that is training them for jobs that no longer exist. Manufacturing is gone in this country. There's, you can learn to do a manufacturing job in a few hours or a couple of days. It's not that difficult. You don't need to go through 12 years of high school and a 4-year higher education to work in a factory. But we're still training kids to do that. And we're still training them to take jobs that aren't available anymore. We need to step that up and catch up to the rest of the world. And getting on my education rant here, Rod. Why did you do this?
Well, because I knew you were going to rant for a while.
and seriously, we need to catch up with the rest of the world. I mean, Finland and all these other places that China, of course, everybody knows. India, everyone's like, well, India's taking all of our tech jobs. Well, why are they doing that? Because they're better at it. Because we're not training our people to take those jobs. Yeah, a little bit of it is the wage thing and all that kind of stuff, but they are training. This is what they're doing. They are training them to be strong in technology, and we need to get back to doing that. But anyways,
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, the education system definitely needs a little revamping. That's no question about that. I mean, and you're right. They're training people to work manufacturing, but everything nowadays is automated. So there's nobody to do manufacturing. Right. You have to be a higher level to, engineer the equipment or to work on all of this high equipment. And
you hit the nail on the head. Is that they don't need people to run the equipment anymore. The equipment runs itself. They need people to program that equipment.
Yeah, program it, work on it, fix it, and design it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're almost done our first half hour, guys. Really exciting. The last thing we're going to touch on before we go is finances, financial security, financial independence, financial freedom, and we'll get into that in another episode about why we feel there's differences in each of those, and how wealth is a state of mind. And Rod and I'll debate on that because Rod doesn't agree with me on that. But
no, I do agree with you, but I think there's a couple of different
parts to it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But finances, guys, here's the deal. It's as easy as this. Make more money than you spend. And if you do that, you will not have financial issues. The problem in our country right now is that very few people know how to manage their finances, and they spend a lot more than they make, and it just doesn't work. You will never, ever get out of the hole if you spend more money than you make. And I know it's not easy in all cases, so don't start sending me emails and saying that I'm picking on poor people or picking on people that can't manage their money. But yeah, I am. We have to. I don't like the whole live within your means thing. I believe in expanding your means, but at the same time, if you're making $1,000 a month, you can't spend $1,100 or $1,200 a month and expect to have a good quality of life. It's just not going to work. You got to figure a way to either increase your income or decrease your expenses. Rod, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Well, you know, and I think just to add on top of that, really having your own business, whether it's a brick and mortar business, a home-based business, an online business, whatever kind of business it is, it's really the only facility that gives you the ability to earn as much as you want. I mean, that's really, you know, you work for somebody else. There's going to be a cap at some point.
Right.
And if you want to earn more than that, you either have to change to a completely different job that is a higher level job, or you have to open a business that allows you to create that kind of income. I mean,
Right.
having a business is the only one that is really that will give you the avenue or the facility to pretty much earn anything that you want.
Right. They actually asked Donald Trump what the best way to get rich was, and he said own your own business. And
yeah,
there's just no doubt about that. And it doesn't matter what business. The easiest way I think to explain it to people, Rod, is, and we're not picking on you guys with jobs because we've had them, been there and done that. But here's the deal. There is only so many hours in a week. And if you're working 40 hours a week right now, you might even be working 50 hours a week. You're working pretty hard. And let's say you make X number of dollars an hour and the boss isn't going to give you more money per hour. What's the only way that you're going to double your income, Rod, if you're working 40 hours a week at $10 an hour? How are you going to double it? If you can't work if the boss doesn't give you more money, how do you double your income?
Yeah, I mean, the only way is just to either work more hours or you got to find another higher paying job. I mean, that's
right. So if you want to
start a business.
if you want to double your income, you're going to work 80 hours a week. All right?
Yep.
That's pretty tough.
It is. That's
okay.
real tough.
But let's say you want to double it again. Now how many hours? It's almost impossible at that point. But when you have a business of your own, guys, it's a matter of doubling your customer base. It's a matter of doubling your volume. So if you have a business where you have 100 steady customers, and just for easy numbers, and you want to double your income in your business, what do? You get 200 customers. You learn to market your business better. You learn to have more skills in your business, and you take your customer base from 100 to 200. And does it really take any more work to do that, Rod?
Not much.
Not much. Not as much as doubling it. You're not going to have to do twice as much work to get those extra customers. And then to go to 400 customers, and then 800 customers, and then 16. You're not going to do that much more work to double your income when it comes to your own business. And that's what people have to really understand, is the power of leverage that you get using a business. Because I'm not only getting my effort.
Excuse me.
Gesundheit. Bless you. It's not just about my efforts anymore. It's about my effort and an employee's effort, and a second or a third or a fourth or a fifth. It's like I always like the real estate agent thing, Rod, because a real estate agent can work for himself, but then he hires one agent to sell so many houses. Then he can hire a second agent, and then a third and a fourth and a fifth. I mean, he can hire as many agents as he wants, and he can keep doubling or tripling or quadrupling his income. That's what business is all about, guys. And again, if you get that, if you can understand how much more powerful that is than having to double the amount of work that you're doing, it will set you free.
And the really cool thing is just try and get your guys' mind around this. If you can get one customer, you can get 1,000, you can get 10,000.
Right. Absolutely. Cool. Well, guys, that's going to be show number 1. Yeah. And the crowd goes wild. There's got to be some kind of crowd noise in the toolbox somewhere.
There is actually.
What we're gonna do? Yeah, absolutely. Hit us with one. We're gonna talk about home-based business, guys. We're gonna talk about marketing, the economy, personal development, financial security. We've got some phenomenal money management techniques and stuff for you, and systems that are gonna just blow your mind. And that's what the Evening Buzz is gonna be all about. Simple talk, and innovative marketing.
That's right. There you go.
There you go. Cool. All right, guys. I'm Paul Charron.
And I'm Rod Davison, Fresno, California.
And we will see you tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, same time, same place, Monday through Thursday, guys. And that's it.
Hope everybody enjoyed the show, and look forward to delivering all this. And, you know, contact us on our Facebook page. It's The Evening Show. So you can get to that, theeveningshow.com or facebook.com/The Evening Show. The Evening Buzz. Yeah, sorry. The Evening Buzz. Just like down at the bottom. So theeveningbuzz.com or facebook.com/The Evening Buzz. And throw some comments in there, and you know, let us know some topics that you guys want to talk about, and we'll cover those too.
Cool. All right, everybody. Good night.
Good night.